Today's episode of News Dump is brought to you by Gabby.
We've covered the Wallstreetbets subreddit a few
YOLO.
times before on this show, but for the most part, it's been for the memes and the YOLO plays that people do where they essentially bet their entire net worth on something, only to watch it fail miserably, most of the time.
Sometimes it works.
Yeah, but recently Wallstreetbets has, I don't know, for at least the third or fourth time now, actually had a real and lasting effect on the stock market as a whole during a war that was waged against a short seller called Citron Research over the value of a little company called Gamestop.
Yeah, so a quick and not at all detailed description of what short selling is, in case you don't know, and honestly, you're better off not knowing, but here you go.
It's gambling.
So essentially, Citron Research was betting that the price of GameStop stock would fall.
Yes.
And it's a pretty educated, logical assessment of it. There's been a gigantic shift in the way consumers purchase and play games. It's been happening for years now. Brick and mortar video game retail, not really a business with a bright future. Yeah. So yeah, if you're a professional stonks person, you would be like, yes, it would.
This is not stonks.
It would make sense to bet on GameStop going down rather than up.
Yeah, like a brick and mortar place that has specifically traditionally been centered around one product.
Yeah.
Not really something that I would put all of my eggs in that basket.
Yeah, I mean, you got digital storefronts like Epic, Steam, the Sony Microsoft stores, subscription platforms like Xbox Game Pass. They've all been dominating the market. They've seen exponential growth during the pandemic as people should be staying inside and not taking trips out to retail stores, especially for something like video games, which you can buy digitally. And the games probably all have little kids' booger fingers all over them.
Yeah, if I could buy food digitally, I would do it. I mean, I guess I do with like HelloFresh and stuff, but yeah.
So yeah, betting against GameStop seems like a solid move.
Yeah.
But Wallstreetbets had other ideas.
Mm-hmm. There have been no shortage of posts related to GameStop since the inception of Wallstreetbets. It's always been a meme stock, just like Tesla. Mm-hmm. And we all saw what happened with that. Everyone got rich.
To the moon.
Yeah. During the later part of last year, though, a pump started to occur for kind of no reason to most traditional investors. It was like the guy literally from The Big Short bought a bunch of stock, and then like the guy who founded Chewy.com bought a bunch of stock. But yeah, it's not as if GameStop was innovating in any real way. In fact, taking a stroll through your local GameStop these days, it seems to resemble a trip down to Hot Topic more than a video game store.
Dad, what was the 90s like? Well, just go down to GameStop. It's pretty much that.
Well, yeah, but now it's like they just sell like trinkets and T-shirts and stuff related to like things gamers
Funko
are into.
Pops.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The GameStop in the 90s now, that's where you'd be at the mall or the open air like strip mall, and you'd take and drop the kids off there, me being the kid back then, and you'd play all the demos there and leave your parents alone.
Yeah. Get yelled at by the underpaid staff.
Hey! Please stop getting your booger-eating fingers all over the controllers.
Yeah.
But things got really heated when the company that we previously mentioned, Citron Research, announced that they expected the stock price of GameStop to plummet, at least back to $20 a share, which is still overpriced. This thing was trading at like $4 last year.
It took the hit of the coronavirus dip quite hard.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought it was down for the count.
But no.
The graph of this fucking stock looks insane.
Yeah. Many hands make for light work when it comes to boosting a stock, I guess. So anyways, that whole tweet from Citron, that was considered shots fired to a Reddit community that had been YOLOing its way to financial independence on the stock for weeks, if not months.
Yeah. But it might not have even been the fact that Citron Research assumed the stock price would drop. I mean, GameStop's stock has been relatively pointless for a while, and according to CNBC, is, quote, the most shorted stock in the market. So instead, it was probably just the cavalier attitude in Citron's posts about this beloved stock that kicked the hornet's nest. This past Tuesday, Citron Research tweeted the following. Tomorrow a.m. at 11:30 Eastern, Citron will live stream the 5 reasons GameStop buyers at these levels are the suckers at this poker game. Stock back to $20 fast. We understand short interest better than you and will explain.
A little bit cocky.
How dare you? So this, among other things, caused the community to band together in order to perform what is called a short squeeze. Here's an easy, non-detailed explanation. You boost the value of the stock by buying a bunch of it, so that everyone who's betting on the price dropping will end up losing an absolutely shit ton of money while everyone else makes money off of their hubris.
Yes.
It's basically what happens all the time with cryptocurrencies. You basically have a bunch of private groups who are all just like, all right, between all of us, we got like a couple mil.
Let's manipulate the market.
Yeah, let's just manipulate the market.
Yeah.
And there's no laws against this, so let's fucking do it.
So basically that's what happened. And in the past couple of days, the stock price of GameStop has soared, causing Citron to cancel their live stream that they were going to do. And they blamed that cancellation on the inauguration, but it was really because they had been shamed. Mm-hmm. And that also resulted in a substantial increase in stock value. And on Friday alone, once the memes had spread and everyone and their brother fired up the old Robinhood app, it was crazy. And it culminated in a trading pause on Friday that was triggered because of the volatility of the stock. And, you know, I bet you're wondering, how much had the stock risen in value before it was halted from trading on that day? 69%.
Nice.
Nice, yeah. It was a fitting end to this war against short sellers for now. No clue what's going to happen on Monday, but whatever. In the process, they made the entire stock exchange look stupid as well because it's all just, as we've said before, none of it makes sense.
I wonder how much of this was entirely passive and entirely disconnected from Wallstreetbets. Like, I have to assume, like, algorithmic traders probably
started
just automatically, they're just like, oh, we got to, like, the robot's just like this GameStop thing. And then it's probably, I mean, like, a lot of people just look at, like, stocktwits.com and they're like, all right.
Wow, there's a lot of chatter going on with this GameStop thing. Yeah. They're doing what with the military
whatever.
when?
Who cares? I just see line go up, so.
Yeah. This is a cup and handle, whatever the fuck terms people use. Like.
Candlestick, reverse candlestick.
Dead cat bounce. Like, oh, it's like, come on. It's all tea leaves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there making a lot of money off it, but then you have, like, Wallstreetbets comes in, and a bunch of them become millionaires off of gaming the stock.
My favorite part of Wallstreetbets and just, like, the Robinhood revolution in general for stocks is that it's basically proven that the stock market is fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
is no reflection at all on, like, the actual fundamentals of any of the companies you're trading.
The barrier to entry now being so low, I'm sure it has, like, old hat traders just, like, punching themselves in the face.
It doesn't make sense.
Nothing makes sense anymore.
Who are these? You have to be an idiot. Oh, my God.
So
it's like playing poker against, like, a complete noob who manages to beat you because you can't read them. Yeah. Like, they're just playing completely illogically.
Yeah. No, in that sense, I love it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Also, you have to wonder what the executives at GameStop are thinking. I mean, they definitely shouldn't be celebrating. An entire community is just using their what is potentially worthless stock as a get-rich-quick scheme and to punish people that talk shit to them.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
in the meantime,
not a bad place to be.
If I was high up at a GameStop and I had stock in the company, I would be like, well, I did probably sell this and quit my job.
Yeah, no, that's not really worth. Whatever your stance on GameStop, it should not be long.
No.
It should be a short position. Not a short seller position, but a short
I just imagine like an executive there who's like got like stock options or something like that from working there. And in the course of 3 days, they went from like, I'm an executive at GameStop making arguably way too much money, but still, I just became a millionaire overnight because people are shit posting on a subreddit. Well, I'm going to hold on and see where this goes. Broke on Monday.
Well, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah. It's like when you buy a lotto ticket and you think about all the things you'd buy if you hit it.
Would have been really cool if it was the right numbers.
Speaking of which, I should have bought a Mega Millions. That thing's up to like $1 billion.
I've never bought a lottery ticket and I haven't lost a wink of sleep over it.
Okay.
Anyway, one of our favorite Twitter posts from this whole GameStop stonks situation is someone impersonating Jordan Belfort from Wolf of Wall Street on the phone trying to sell Game or GME stock to some poor schlub. The name of the company, GameStop, it is a cutting-edge video game store out of the Grapevine, Texas, awaiting imminent patent approval on the next generation of virtual reality omnidirectional gaming devices that have both huge military and civilian applications right now. Which a lot of people are claiming. I don't know if that's part of the meme or like actually has some truth to it.
There's absolutely no way. Like, prove me wrong, but this is just a brick and mortar retail location that has shifted its entire focus from selling used video games to selling Funko Pops.
Yeah, I don't think GameStop has like a fucking lab up in like Silicon Valley developing groundbreaking augmented reality technology.
Again, prove me wrong, but I think that's something that maybe Mad Catz is working on.
Yeah.
The most annoying military tech you could buy.
Anyways, the whole thing's wild. It's impressive.
Yeah.
It's a fun story. The memes, the posts, even the videos created surrounding this whole thing are far better than the already played out Bernie memes. So good job, everyone. Although I saw the last good Bernie meme was very meta. It was the two guys from American Chopper, the arguing one. Yeah. And they're like, Bernie memes are played out. They're done. They're not funny anymore. And the other one's like, no, they're still good Bernie memes. And then there's like, shut up. And then he throws Bernie, like, instead of throwing the chair, he throws Bernie Sanders at the other guy.
I just like, it's like, not as bad as the Mike Pence fly, but this one had legs. There was some creative stuff there, but then
the Bernie one took off way too much among the crowd, among the crowd of people who fucking hated Bernie Sanders and like tried to slander him throughout the primary and say that he like, you know, reminded them of their like fucking abusers and shit like that.
Well, and now that everyone's done everything and put him in everything, and like now like Amazon put him in something.
Yeah, it's just like Bernie Sanders hates you. You are like his number one enemy. He has literally drafted legislation specifically targeted at you. It's called like the Bezos Act.
Everyone's like, we can get in on this, like, and it's like some form of like, hello, fellow kids, I'm as cool as you kind of marketing. It's like Meghan McCain, who is insufferable on Twitter. It did the thing where she's fishing with him.
Fuck you, Meghan.
Yeah. Anyways. According to The Verge, back to the GameStop thing, Citron said Friday it would no longer comment on the GameStop stock because of the, quote, angry mob who owns this stock. Citron Research editor Andrew Left wrote in a note to readers that the backlash had included criminal activity, and he planned to report to the Securities and Exchange Commission, which included harassment of minor children as well as financial crimes. So,
big if true. Make sure to put in the article that I'm not mad, though.
Tell them I'm absolutely not mad.
Yeah. Going to be really interesting to see where this goes. But you know what else is wild? Muncher. The new Ghost debuted for the upcoming men's only No Girls Allowed Ghostbusters movie. Yeah. Sorry, ladies, this sad sack of blue chewed up bubblegum is for boys only. You already had your Ghostbusters and it fucking sucked ass. Munchie is for the boys.
I didn't hate it.
I still haven't seen it, actually.
Yeah.
I just remember the people are still, I think like the quartering is still mad about it.
Yeah.
Which,
I saw it again recently on, I was like doing a little bit of cleaning around the house and it was on like FX or something. And I was like, it's not bad. Chris Hemsworth's fine. It's not as terrible as people said. Yeah. That's the thing.
Anyway, you know what it didn't have? Munchie.
Yeah.
Pictured here. Looks like cross between Heimlich, the green caterpillar from A Bug's Life, and I don't know, Ed Asner. Actually, you know, Ed Asner he's still alive, believe it or not. It'd be a real shame if he didn't voice this thing.
It would be, I think, the perfect fit.
He reposted some meme he found of
here's like, me in a meme.
Like it was someone playing like Counter-Strike and like it was Ed Asner with I don't even understand the meme, but he's like he seemed to really like it.
Yeah, Ed Asner on Twitter has the potential to be a great thing.
Yeah.
I hope it
I mean, Betty White just turned 99?
And she's 100? Staying up as late as she wants.
Ed Asner's got to be pretty high up
He's
there.
in the 90s. He's in the 90s.
Yeah. Anyways, Muncher. Back to Muncher.
Yeah.
Made his debut during a crossover promotion on MasterChef Junior Spain. And
we didn't think it would leak.
Yeah. He's the real... like, this is the closest look we've seen at any of the new Ghostbusters movie. It's a weird choice for the first...
debut
real peek at this movie that the first teaser trailer for this I feel like came out years ago.
Yeah. I
kind of forgot about this movie.
It's the Stranger Things Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
It's with the kids and there's no women allowed in the theaters. It's one of Joe Biden's executive orders.
Yep.
Just like way back when it was an executive order that every man in America had to see the Ghostbusters reboot.
Yeah.
Opposite this time.
No women allowed.
And everyone's eating those Yorkie candy bars with the no lady sign on the front from Europe.
Anyway, we're sure that Muncher here will look maybe a bit different on screen in CGI than he does as some sort of theme park puppet here. Nevertheless, he looks like shit, but it's fine because Ghostbusters, they're boys again, including Muncher here. He's got a penis.
Muncher has a giant blue penis.
He's got a weird bulbous dong.
In fact, his entire body is a penis.
Yep. Anyway, Ghostbusters Afterlife is never coming out because of the pandemic, so who cares? Actually, it was scheduled. It was supposed to come out already. It was supposed to come out back in June 11th.
No. Summer of last year. Then it got changed to June of this year. But that's also changed.
Whatever, yeah. I don't know. Right now it's November 11th. Okay, sure.
Still hopeful.
Anyway, speaking of the old pandemic movie shuffle.
Yeah.
There are a few more release dates that have been altered because studios were a bit presumptuous when it came to their idea of when things would be back normal.
Yeah, the new Bond movie, No Time to Die, it's been moved from the beginning of April. Like, what were they thinking? The beginning of April, and it's going to October 8th, which I still think is probably too soon for movie theaters. I hope I'm wrong. Believe me, I hope I'm wrong. I hope by summer we are back to normal, baby. Even Fauci's like, maybe some concerts in the fall if we're lucky. It's as a treat.
Fauci was also like, I think concerts should start at 6 p.m. and be done by 8:30.
Only one local opener, and everyone has to use the same snare.
I mean, I do kind of agree. I'm way too old for this LA shit where like doors are at 7 and the headliner doesn't play till midnight. Like, it's Tuesday.
It's because everyone's using their own cabinets. Just get one cabinet for the venue to plug in.
Yeah, especially, the drums, you only need one drum set. Come on, switch out whatever weird toms you got, but the kick and the snare can stay.
Anyways, Lil Tom Holland's Uncharted movie, which is totally real and definitely exists, it's now been pushed to February of 2022, which is going to be exhausting to say that year over and over again. It's totally coming out. It's a real movie. It's definitely happening. It's going to come out a year and a couple weeks from now, they swear. Morbius, starring Jared Leto, which should probably just be thrown away. That's still coming out for some reason, although it's been delayed and won't be premiering until January of 2022, literally a year from now. So, I don't know, January 2022, though, that seems realistic, and it also seems like the perfect time to release a movie, because at that point, I'll see anything. I will see anything in a movie theater, so load the front of all of this stuff, load it with crap.
Yeah.
I need to see more of those movies about the dog that becomes a wrestler, anything by Kirk Cameron. Just put all that in theaters first as a way to make all your money back.
Yeah, I'll buy so many hot dogs.
All the schlock. Save the Bond and the Dune until 2023. We can wait. I'm just so desperate for a movie theater experience at this point that you could just roll a black screen and I would be happy. As long as I'm in a room with people.
Yeah, run the color bars test.
It's just the AMC terrible movie trivia and local real estate agents ads for 2 hours straight.
Yeah, I miss it. Anyway, let's take a quick break now before we get to the rest of the news and thank today's sponsor, Gabby. You know Gabby by now. They are a recurring sponsor here, but let's bring you up to speed once again because we're all looking for ways to save money, right? So how would you like an extra $961 a year in your pocket? That's how much Gabby customers save per year on average on car and home insurance. That's why when we shop for insurance, we use Gabby. Gabby takes the pain out of shopping for insurance by giving you an apples-to-apples comparison of your current coverage with 40 of the top insurance providers like Progressive, Nationwide, and Travelers. I did the whole process of Gabby. It took 5 to 10 minutes for the actual giving them my information, and then took an hour to get my results back in the email, and it was great. I saw every possible option for both renter's insurance and car insurance, and it was great. It's nice to have a resource like this to see exactly how much you potentially might be getting screwed.
I was also happy with my coverage because I have stolen valor. USAA.
Yeah.
Thanks, wife's
father.
Thank
you for your
thank you
for
my
your wife's father's
service.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in for life now. It's all good. Once again, though, Gabby customers, they save $961 per year on average. I bet that would be nice to have in your pocket every year. And if they can't find you savings, they let you know, just like they let us know, so you can relax knowing that you have the best rate out there.
$961, that's a lot of shares of GameStop.
Yeah. You could turn that into a lot if you follow the Wallstreetbets.
Or a little.
They'll also never sell your info, so there's no annoying spam or robocalls. You're probably overpaying on car or home insurance, so see how much Gabby could save you. It's totally free to check. There's no obligation. So go to Gabby.com/newsdump. That is GABI.com/newsdump to check them out. Gabby.com/newsdump.
Okay, back to the rest of the news tidbits now, starting with the movie no one asked for, telling a tale that no one cares to hear. Wonka, an origin story. The gritty reboot nobody wants.
Yeah.
So, look, we can't understand at all why the Willy Wonka character has been rehashed and tossed around as though it's some kind of legacy superhero for these studios.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the idea of an eccentric candy factory mogul really interests people.
Yeah, especially in now of all time.
Yeah, or just really interests executives.
Yeah, well, it's like I think it's Warner Brothers that owns it. It's just like, look,
then this is definitely in response to Joker.
We
100% is in response to Joker.
But it's like they own the Wonka character for film, so it's like every couple of years we got to use it, or someone else is going to be able to buy it out.
Make the Wonka extended universe. We're going to do an Oompa Loompa movie.
Yeah, fat kid that rolls around.
Augustus Gloop, the origin story. How did he get fat?
Yeah.
Now you're going to find out.
The Gloop name has a lot of interesting stuff behind it.
Gloop. So the original film, the Gene Wilder one, perfect movie. It had the best lead actor, the best songs. It taught important life lessons like don't be greedy or fat.
Mm-hmm.
Gluttony is a sin.
And don't be a bitch.
Yeah. Also, slavery is okay when they're weird little orange people.
Yeah. They made a lot of good life lessons out of that movie.
Yeah. Well,
also, if you freak people out to the point of them potentially wanting to just jump off the boat and kill themselves, you've done a good job as a tour guide.
Killing children is okay when they're involved in a contest to own your candy factory.
Well, officer, I'd like to explain to you that child was mean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, in recent years, that movie found new life in the mockery of Uncle Joe once people started realizing how much of a piece of shit he is in the movie. He's just lazy. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and then
he contributes nothing.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like, hey, you want to go to the...
I can walk now.
Yeah, whoa.
Hold on, wait a second.
Uncle Joe only gets out of bed for two things, pussy and delicious candy.
And I'm all out of pussy.
And it's all Yorkie bars.
Yeah.
Still, though, right at the peak of rebooting old properties, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory came out starring Johnny Depp. And while that movie was fun to watch on drugs, it was almost entirely forgettable compared to the original. And it was probably because I was really high when I watched it.
Yeah, I did not like this movie.
That film actually did give a bunch of backstory to the Wonka character. His dad wanted him to be a dentist or some shit. But here we are, doing it all over again. And while upon seeing the headline for this, we couldn't help but ask ourselves, why? And exclaim, please no. Please spend that budget on something else. There is some hope that this might be unique and maybe even, dare I say, good. And that's entirely because the person directing the film is Paul King, who made the Paddington movies, which are literally the most charming, perfect, lovable, happy, inspiring, and wonderful children's movies that have been released for this generation. They are top tier, the best children's movies that exist.
I still haven't seen any of them.
Look. Paddington 1's fine. Paddington 2 is a fucking masterpiece.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. And that guy who banged the prostitutes in it. Also, the casting desires on Twitter that we saw would be perfect. Numerous tweets suggested Andre 3000 from Outkast as Willy Wonka, and those tweets spread like wildfire.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, that's just what Twitter and now I want. But look, Warner Brothers apparently listens to mob violence. So, if you're angry and loud enough and you rent an airplane to fly over the skies of Burbank writing Andre 3000's name, they've got to do it.
Yeah.
They've already set the precedent.
Release the Outcast cut.
Exactly.
Anyway, let's move over now to the world of streaming real quick and let you know that while Wonder Woman 1984 was creeping around on HBOMax with less than a stellar reaction from people who decided to waste nearly 3 hours of their time on Christmas Day, Soul from Disney Pixar was also out and was not only a better movie in nearly every aspect, it also absolutely crushed it in the ratings, or however you describe the metrics for streaming platforms and their debuts of new movies that should have been theatrical releases before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Soul was the #1 thing in streaming for the week of its release, with an estimated 1.669 billion total minutes streamed, beating out even The Office, which was in its last available week on Netflix before it was tucked away on Peacock, where no one can find it.
I remember that show.
Yeah. I'll miss it.
I'm
literally never going to watch The Office ever again.
Luckily, I rewatched the entire thing last year before it left Netflix. I mean, so I'm good for another 5 years or so.
My household just sort of had The Office on all the time for the last 5 years, so I think I'm all right. For
the theme song's burned into my head, but it was fun. It was funny, like the day before January 1st or around that time, Apple was like, "Cool, you can buy the entire series for $30 right now."
Oh,
so
I didn't see that.
I didn't get that, but like I said, rewatched it, so I think I'm good for a little while. I think Parks and Rec's still on there. Maybe that moved too. I don't know. Anyways, as for Wonder Woman 1984, a terrible movie and a complete waste of time and talent, you won't even be able to suffer through that on HBO Max anymore because it is, boom, gone, leaving the platform as of Sunday. And get this, it's going exclusively to movie theaters.
Are you a bad enough dude to get fucking killed watching Wonder Woman 1984?
Yeah, for 3 hours straight in a room with a bunch of other people.
Hope you brought a piss bottle.
For a terrible movie that's very boring and pointless. So I don't know what the hell's going on over at Warner Brothers. I swear to God, this drives me up a wall. Luckily, this movie sucks, or anyone who was too busy or too lazy to watch it would have been shit out of luck come next week. Unless you were planning on braving it out in the theaters. It, of course, will return to the platform again sometime in the future. But this is a moronic big brain move that is only rivaled by all of the Batman movies leaving the platform almost immediately after it launched, despite contributing almost entirely to the platform's marketing. Now, having said that, I got HBO Max for free because I got AT&T internet. So I've been trying to find things to enjoy. How To with John Wilson, fantastic.
Great show.
Yeah. But I am just now finished with the entire first season of Warrior. That show is worth your time. Watch Warrior on HBO Max. I didn't read too much into it, but the general chatter seems to be that it's based off of like either a concept or writings that Bruce Lee had developed.
Yeah, it's something
years
Bruce
ago.
Lee was trying to pitch to the studios, and they were like, all right, sounds great. So we're going to make Kung Fu, and we're going to cast David Carradine as it. And just ignore the rest of your ideas. Thank you, Bruce Lee.
But yeah, this one, it's executive producer produced by Justin Lin. There's some, it's pulpy. It's like whatever, but the fight sequences in it are not even like the best of a TV show. Like this is John Wick level fight choreography in this show. There's like also like random one-off episodes where it's like a side quest. There's an entire episode where it's basically a Western and it is incredible. So look, if you've still got HBO Max kicking around, Warrior. Watch Warrior. Before Repair Shop. You watch Repair Shop.
I watched Repair Shop.
What'd you think?
I love it. It's exactly what you pitched it as. I watched it when I went to bed.
Yeah.
I was into it, but it was like the kind of thing where it's like, if I fall asleep, that's fine.
Well, that's what's great about it is the episodes are so long that when you do fall asleep, the next night you can be like, where was I? He was rebuilding this.
We're building a Louis Vuitton case and
trunk.
a pocket watch from the 1940s that some woman hid inside of her vagina throughout the war.
Yeah. Literally like the movie Pulp Fiction.
She said she sewed it into her clothes, but I don't believe
we all know the truth. Yeah. But yeah, it's great. Okay, cool. So my recommendations are all good.
Yeah. Anyway, over on Disney Plus, WandaVision has just started releasing on its standard schedule after dropping 2 complete episodes on its debut. I watched the first 2. I actually kind of like it.
I love the show.
I don't know where the fuck it's going, but like I like it just on account of it being different than what I would have expected from a MCU property. Like,
so
it's kind of high concept, and I appreciate that.
I don't know if I like it. Seeing the discourse online, I was like, I don't understand how this could be as bad.
I think a lot of like MCU fanboys just don't know how to like they just don't know what to do with it.
Well, anyways, I watched the first 2 episodes. I was like, this is fantastic. One,
It's got like
grew up watching a lot of these old sitcoms because they would always play during the day.
The writing is genuinely good for like that era and
it's I Love Lucy, genre. Bewitched, like all that stuff. But it also has hanging over it this feeling of dread.
Thing is going on.
Yeah, there's like this. Some things are like a miss all the time. There's this feeling of dread constantly in the back of your mind.
It's got a sort of cabin in the woods vibe.
And as long as the payoff's good, I really think that this slow burn is going to pay off. And going to be great.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Having said that, I, much like Elliot, was extremely confused the first time I watched it because I was like, is this part of the show or is this the actual credit scene?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's like 8 minutes left in this episode.
Yeah, the credits are too long.
Yeah.
Like, a 30-minute episode. Like, no, it's like an 18-minute episode with a bunch of shit at the end.
Yeah, and as far as I can tell, no after credits scene, so...
No, yeah.
And I think it's because, I read online, it's because for some reason, like most other streaming platforms, they do the localized credits for those areas.
Disney Plus has their global credits, so it's like every localization at the end. Yeah.
So you're not missing anything if you just skip the credits. I mean, give the people in production their due, but It's a little
Stand
much.
up and clap. They might be nearby.
They could live next door if you live in LA.
The thing I miss most about seeing a movie in LA is standing up at the end and clapping. Because you never know. The dolly grip might be in the theater with you. You want to show respect. It's fucking incredible. Like, I have never stood and clapped. It's insane. It's a deranged behavior.
Guilty as charged. I've clapped, but I can't remember if I did it it's like at the ArcLight, people just fucking do it.
You're just walking out during the credits? So disrespectful. It's the curtain call. Shut the fuck up.
Guy like sitting there wearing the catering company's like polo shirt with his name written on it and a cap, just crying because everyone's walking out.
I fed so many sandwiches to the cast and crew of this movie and just no one cares.
Enough regional talk from us.
Speaking of Disney Plus, starting on February 19th, they're bringing all 5 seasons of the OG Muppet Show to the platform, which it'll be great news at the very least for Elise Willems of Funhouse and anyone else who enjoys fun. I definitely, I've only seen the Muppet Show when it was on, I think, Nick at Night, like years ago. Like I've never taken a deep dive into it.
Yeah. And I was on the Funhouse podcast this week. I don't know when they're posting it, if they've posted it already.
Their upload schedule is fucking weird. It'll probably come out in like June.
Anyways, I did the podcast with them. It'll probably go up sometime soon. It was live on Rooster Teeth, and I had no idea we were live.
Oh.
So that was fun. It was basically like a lot of me and Lindsay just shooting the shit about reality TV. And I even outside of this show, I can still curse reality because in that episode, or in that podcast, I was talking about how the last season's Bachelorette lady, she like left the season early because she fell in love with this dude. And I'm like, hey, look, it works out for some people. They're still happily together. They've been together for a while. And literally that day, the news broke that they had separated because he'd been cheating on her the entire time.
You did this.
I certainly did.
First Kobe, now.
You did the Kobe.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh. Anyways, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to watch our most recent episodes from this week. We have Donald Trump's greatest hits. And I do miss him now on Twitter.
I do. I want to know what he's thinking.
And we also have a Tech News Day there for you. So check both of those out. We'll be back with Weekly Weird News. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.